Hello, fellow miners, and welcome to another episode from Spice Mines Gaming. Back up. Welcome to episode 50 of Savanna Survival. Awesome. This is episode 50 of Savanna Survival. And if you've been around this series for long enough, you will recognize this place. This is where we began, in the Savanna. This was our first home. We had the bed over here. We had some chests over here. Had a crafting bench and a furnace over here, if I'm not mistaken. Had chests over here. We had 2 furnaces and a crafting bench and then 2 chests, double chests here. This was our home for a while. You know, it still looks really nice. I like it. I really like the effect of, what I did with the ceiling, the granite, and the polished andesite, and then the regular andesite to make it look like, the polished bits have kind of broken up over time. Same goes with that. And then the old trusty incinerator, and down there to the mines. And we dubbed this place affectionately the Hole. So that's where we began in this series. And so I'm going to walk this way and never mind the railroad track here and never mind anything you might see on the left or right. Let's take care of this guy here before he causes any problems. All right. Anyhow, I'll get onto that rail, those tracks over there. There's a purpose. But that's at the end of the video. And then from there, we moved into this little humble establishment, the shed. Remember, I had the bed here, and this is where I started the storage facility, where I stored up all the materials to get ready to build the house. And this house turned out really well. I'm very pleased with this house. Of all of the survival houses I've ever built, I think this one is by far my favorite. It was a fun build. It looks good. I really like this. And in fact, an interesting little tidbit about this series, the episode where I built this house is probably my #1 of all time video on my channel. It is constantly the #1 video in my statistics. Week after week, month after month, when I built this, the episode where I built this house is the #1 episode. And so, I really haven't done a whole lot down here. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I can do. I mean, I got a basement here, which, was originally planned, didn't happen, and then finally I figured out a purpose for it. We got the brewing stands here, and then upstairs here, got the enchantment set up, and this is where I eventually settled on putting the bed. And I got the old inner chest up here because this is kind of like, I come here a lot. And so, like, after I'm mining or collecting resources, I'll come in here, grab the shulker boxes out here if I need them, and then go to bed and go on with the day. And so, another thing that I did, and this was another really popular episode for a long time, was building this area here. This very low-tech farm that's designed for making pumpkin pies. Got our pumpkins, our sugar cane, and our chickens for the eggs. And the episode where I built this originally, I think it's called Old McSpice Mines Had a Farm. That was actually one of my top videos on the channel for a very long time. And so this has been the most productive way of farming pumpkins in my experience. I have experimented with automating that, and it just cannot put out enough pumpkins to be as sustainable as this is. To give you an idea, that's only 24 pumpkins, and that's enough to make a stack plus 8 sugarcane. And these chickens, whenever you let them lay their eggs for a while, you can get at least 20 eggs. Here's my surplus materials. So there's a lot of pumpkin pies to be made just right here alone. Now let's pull out the shulker box that contains my pumpkin pies. And this is my main food source. So see, here you go. I'm set. As a matter of fact, while I'm here, let's go ahead and top off. Yeah, pumpkin pies have been my primary food source of this series. It turns out it's a really good food source. It's equivalent to mutton, if I'm not mistaken. But then we brought in some animals. I needed cows so I can get the leather to make books for the enchantment setup. And then I made a cactus farm over here to... this is not necessarily or strictly in the proper order. I'm just kind of highlighting some things that I've done in this series. This is kind of like a settlement tour, I guess you could call it. I made that low-tech cactus farm that had just a big patch of sand with cactus every other block in the grid, kind of like in this pattern here. And while it produced a good amount of cactus, it got me by. It was really slow. And, when you wear down, say like this shovel here is worn down quite a bit, 871 of 1561. So it's almost halfway down. 750 something or other. 780 is going to be about halfway. So it's pretty close to halfway. I would go through stacks after stack after stack of that thing, and, I wouldn't get much use out of it. It would take a long time to mend up a tool. Now, armor and weapons, that's a different story. They're easy. But tools take a lot longer to mend up. And this pig is getting a bath. That's really cool. And then, there's these lighting fixtures that I added around here. This pond, I still enjoy standing right here or over here in this pond and just fishing and, just bringing out all kinds of junk. But this is a really nice landscape here. I mean, not to brag or anything, but I'm really pleased with it. And then here's the garden. This got me my melons to get started with the brewing, to get the glistening melons and whatnot. So, and then the eating achievement, it helped with getting the watermelon for that. And so here's a nice little garden I built off to the side here. And then there was this shed over here that I built, which kind of employed a little bit different building style, but the same building block palette. And this has been a really cool shed. This is where I put all of my surplus saddles, surplus fishing rods, surplus bows, and then I almost used that for overflow on the fishing rods, but I figured out what to do with those. Here's kind of some things that I come out of the nether with and kind of store them there. And let's come down here to this cave. Now, 1.14 is going to change the look of this cave tremendously, because I could use granite, andesite, diorite, stairs, and slabs. It's just going to change everything. If I continue this series in 1.14, I'm seriously actively thinking about that. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can call that a season 2, going to 1.14. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions, and I'm considering that. But anyhow, this was just a boxy looking hole, and I spruced it up to kind of make it look like a cave. Adding mushrooms, adding holes, and using the cobblestone to kind of resemble a cracked wall, and then filling these stairs in with water to make it look like there's like a little stream. And then I think it's right here maybe. Yeah, I added a water source block above that block to kind of give it the dripping effect. And then there's the nether portal right there. There's some nether wart here, some more puddles, more dripping. And then down here goes to a much later project in the series, but I'll go ahead and feature it while I'm here. See, here's some more of these, the cave building schemes that I used. And that opens up to this massive farm, which is mainly for trees. As you can see, I've got all the varieties of trees, but I've also got these crops here. And these crops have a purpose. Has to do with that rail cart that you saw up there. But there's this. Now let me go up here with these rockets, and let's kind of, you know what? If I could fly, come on, there we go. Okay. And then here's the old map room. Yeah, I'm probably going to get surrounded by enemies here soon, but that's okay. Ah, speaking of which. Come on. These guys can be tough. Okay. let's come over here. And then here's the map room. Or the map building, I should say. Where I've got, you know, there's the Woodland Explorer map. Here's the first treasure map that we decided to go find. And there's a village over here that had some really cool villagers. Here's another buried treasure map that... Oh, yeah, I remember that one, too. Yeah, where I think that's where I got this Heart of the Sea, or one of the others. I have two of those. There's some neat little things I've done here. And then the telescope. This actually was a really popular video for a while, the more I made this telescope. But it's not so much popular anymore. It's, I guess, old news. But if you ever want to make your own little telescope out of Minecraft, you know, this is kind of my take on the telescope. And here's the map of the surrounding area. We're right there in the middle. And so I did a series of time lapses exploring all of these maps, and that was a lot of fun to do. Honestly, I really enjoyed doing that. And it looks like we're going to be dealing with some dubious ruffians here. I'll just try to... Oh, yeah. Let's close the door before the cats decide to come running out. All right. Let's go in. Let me go ahead and sleep so these guys will get out of the way, and then we'll continue on with the tour because it's about to wrap up here. It's not a big settlement. I haven't done a lot of really big builds, but yeah, let me sleep here and continue on with this little tour here. And I think that's pretty much what I'm going to dedicate this little video to here. It's just going to be looking back on what's happened, and then also there's going to be... What are these? What's the thing about the cats? Okay, thank you, guys. I'm trying to do a serious video here. And use more... These cats better not go after my... Okay, come here. You sit. You follow me. You sit. You follow me. Now, where's the black and white one? Oh, well, it'll probably show up. If it took off running, too, it'll show up. Oh, here he is. Sit. Follow me. Now I got to get these cats back in. And this guy... Yeah, get out of here. Okay, now, I learned a lesson here. These cats did this before. Now make sure there's no creepers going to come up here and blow everybody up. Okay, sit. Sit. You don't follow commands like a real cat. Hey, come on here. Have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. Have a seat. Where's that other cat? Okay, here he is. Now run in. You do them one at a time if you want to try to get them in a door. Okay, that's close enough. Have a seat. Because before I tried to do two at a time and they would get stuck right here. You know, the comic scene where, you know, two people are trying to go through the door. Yeah, they do that. You could come a little bit further in, but I'll just push you over here. Sorry for the delay here, but the animals went wild. Let's get this last one in the door here. All right, good. Thank you. You can sit right there. Perfect. On with the show. Okay, so I had that low-tech cactus farm, and then I went ahead and updated. Oh, and I cannot go any further without giving credit where credit is due, Mr. Fancy Pants. He has to make his appearance in his fancy creeper apparel. You know what? Let's change his robes or his carpets. Easter's coming up soon. Let's give him kind of an Eastery theme. And if I'm not mistaken, I think pink was a good Easter feel of carpets. Let's go ahead and give him that. Yeah, this kind of have the pastels look of Easter. It kind of makes him look a little girly, but don't tell him that. So yeah, Mr. Fancy Pants has played an integral role in my survival. Not really. But he's had his role in this series. But anyhow, let's go down here. I'll get back to the cactus farm as I make my way here. And then I decided I needed a mob farm. I needed a way to just get all kinds of mob drops, especially bones for bone meal, and gunpowder for my elytra. And here we are. We see a creeper here. A skeleton just fell. That creeper's kind of... There he goes. He fell down in there. And we've got 2 Endermen down here. That's pretty cool. A bunch of stuff. And then I've got the collection facility down here. where I have collected all kinds of stuff. And I've emptied this out before, so this is actually, since I've emptied it, just like a couple of real-life days ago, this is what's accumulated here. So this thing has been incredibly productive. And one of these days, I'm going to put soul sand here and just let these guys fall and gather some experience and see how well that works. But I'm not really worried about that right now. So let's head back up this way. And let's go on back to on the subject of the cactus farm here, because that's down this way. And I'm working on some projects down this way. This goes down there, turns the corner, goes to a large room, and then that's where the cave is, the nether portal, and it goes down into the tree farm. I'm working on possibly doing some storage facility down here, so that'll be a future episode. I've got something kind of built, but I'm just kind of experimenting with organization and whatnot. When I figure out a little system, I'll feature that in a video. But here is the cactus farm. Now, this is a really new feature to the series, or this particular one. You know, I've got that tower of 8 levels of cactus that break off, follow a stream, and drop down the hole. And you can see here, one comes in. Whoops. I don't want to collect it. And it goes into these hoppers. Now, this one I repaired my axe or my shovel. I can't remember. I did some repair work on that. Or maybe it was a pickaxe. I can't remember. But there was a tool that was getting really low. And then this right here, I've went ahead and added coal here. Not here yet, but I've added coal here. And so as I take stuff out of here, it continues to smelt the cactus, refills, and then I have over here all of the overflow, which I've got quite a bit of overflow. And that is a very productive cactus farm. And I built this little spot right here if I wanted to do a little AFK work here, where I just kind of sit here, look at the water, and just walk away, take care of some stuff, and then come back in here. You know, nothing's going to spawn in here, but just in case. You can never be too sure. I went ahead and carpeted that and then just made a little AFK chamber there. And so that's, I think, about everything in this series. I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, I've done a lot of other work. Like, you know, I fought a lot of dragons. I got some elytra, all that fun stuff. Did all the regular survival routine. And so now, let's talk about what's going forward with this series. I have a really good settlement here, and I'm very pleased with this settlement. It provides me with everything I need to survive in this game. So, I want to go on with something more, something bigger, much, much bigger than this settlement here. I've got it planned out. I've got it marked out. I just need to build. Notice, something is missing over here. Can you guess what it is? I'll give you a hint if you don't remember. It's been a while since I've been over there. Let's come running over here. That is the well that used to be for a village that was right here. A tiny village. I went ahead and leveled the place. I got rid of all the buildings, all the gardens and everything, because I'm moving it over there. And if you remember, there were only 2 villagers there. And 2 villagers for a massive village is not enough. So, let's go inspect those rails over here. Over here beyond the map room, or map building, the trail ends. And you just caught a hint of what's going on there on the right portion of the screen. But we have here these rails. It goes that way, and it goes over here. Here is a village in the works. I am in the process of getting villagers ready to go for a village that I'm going to build over here. And that's where I'm going to go with this series. I'm still going to accomplish those achievements. And it's another thing. I've been working on these advancements. Like, I have these 2 to take care of. I've got to go find a trident. But that's it for these. Then the end, I've got everything ready to respawn the dragon and collect this dragon's breath. Easy peasy. And then this one right here. This one is going to be tricky because after I respawn and defeat the dragon one more time, it's going to spawn a new gateway portal to go to the Outlands and the end. And hopefully I can find another. I don't look forward to that. I do not want to look for another end city. But one of my gateway portals was really close to an end city. So I hope I have that same kind of luck. And hopefully there's a lot of shulkers there. And I've got to levitate 50 blocks up from those shulker effects. We'll see. That's not going to be easy. But I'm going to try it. And then this one right here. Rescue a ghast from the nether, bring it safely home to the overworld, and then kill it. I have the spot planned out to take care of this. I just need to build the portal and lay some tracks down to trap the ghast and get him through the portal. But there's that. And then the husbandry, I still have to find an enchanted golden apple. That's all I lack for this one right here. And the rest of those are taken care of. And you'll notice I do have this one. As I mentioned before, I went ahead and activated cheats, gave myself that achievement. On video, I did this twice, and the achievement didn't trigger, and that's because there's a bug in 1.13. But I did it. I did it twice. You can go watch the video. I did a cutaway for the first time, but the second time I did it in a time lapse so you could see it. And then over here, these are all done. The last one was the zombie doctor that had to take care of this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these challenges and achievements and advancements to make. And then I'm going to move on from there because, there's no more to do there. And, 1.14 is going to bring a couple more advancements or expand a couple of those. So maybe if I update this to 1.14, those advancements will be taken away, and I'll just have to, like with the food one, there's berries and suspicious stews. So there's a couple of more food items added. So I wonder if they'll take that away, and then I just have to eat those couple of food items and I get it back. I don't know. We'll see. Back to this. Going forward, I'm going to get these guys, and I've got a transport system here built. And like at the bird cages at the zoo, you have 2 gates. Because sometimes when you open one door, they'll come flooding out, and it's like, okay, I don't want them getting away. So I have the second gate for safety. But I've got all these guys, and I want to try to unlock all their trades, which is why all those crops are over there, so that I can trade with the farmer, get emeralds, get other stuff, and then trade with these guys, unlock all of their trades. I think I actually have. Let me find this guy. Is it this guy? He's got Aqua Affinity. There's another really good librarian here. Whoa, come back. Is it this guy? He's got Protection 1. He's the original. He is the original guy from that village over there. The one that I took down. He is the original librarian. So he's got. I think I'm going to designate him like mayor or something. There you go. Mending book for 32 emeralds. It's expensive, but I've already got a villager with a mending trade, so that's pretty cool. But these guys are going to go over here. They're going to go in this cart. They're going to come along this way. And let's follow this to where their new home is going to be. And it's right up here. And I'm going to branch off over here because that track goes somewhere else. The main gate is right here. And I'm going to build like a nice little entrance right in through here. But here's the main gate into this place here. I have done just a little bit of landscaping work here. Just kind of trying to plan the initial footprint of what I'm going to do with this village. Like I'm thinking about building a large trade building right here, and all of the villagers with the really, really good trades and the good books. I'm going to put in like a building right here, a large building right here. But this pond was here before, and that one over there was too. And I just added a little dock and some wild grass and whatnot, just to kind of give myself, like, okay, there's a pond here. It looks like this. What am I going to build around here? And so that's what this is for, just to kind of give myself a starting point. And same goes over here. This one's a little more plain. I'm going to leave it plain. I might change some of this to coarse dirt or something just to kind of change the look a little bit. But this is the main road, and this is going to mark, like, I might do a house over here. I might do, some kind of park-looking thing or garden right here, and like I might do some houses right here and whatnot. I'm getting these initial paths down to mark areas where I can build. And I've got this place completely lit up. As you can see, it's nighttime, and I don't think I'm in any danger here, except if any phantoms come. But I slept earlier, so that's not going to be that big a deal. I didn't level all of the landscape because I wanted to include some of this original landscape. It had some really good landscape here, and I wanted to include that. And so part of including that is leaving this hill here, and some of it I did carve away just because it was very obtrusive and kind of took up a lot of space. But see, I've got all of this to develop, and here is the new well, the center of town, and I hope that I've villager-proofed it so that if they fall in, they can bob up and down and get out. We'll see. I hope they can get out. If not, then I'll redesign it to where they can get out. But this is all going to be a big village. I hope. That's my hope here. If you saw my Emerald Emporium in the Royal Legion SMP series, that's a small village that I built. This one's going to be bigger. And I hope everything works out. I hope that the villagers, utilize the buildings and that they don't, sometimes they can congregate in one little spot, so you get this massive concentration of villagers and the rest of it's just abandoned. So we'll see. I don't know how to influence villagers to move out, but this is going to be a good experiment. So this is going to be a big build for the series. On top of trying to accomplish the rest of those achievements, I want to build this village here just to give myself some company because it's a little bit lonely on that side of the hill. So that's where I'm going with this series for right now. And maybe another thought that I had is this is season 2. That was season 1. Doing all of the survival stuff, getting a settlement built, getting all of that stuff built over there, and the nice beacon over there. Maybe season 2 could be building the village. That's a thought. It's a really cool thought. I could just kind of divide it into sections, and like each episode will be a section. Like, I know this is a small section, but say this right here. Just right here. Dedicate an episode to building this up here. Like maybe put a building here, a garden, or something. Some kind of like a statue or something here. And, the next season, or the next episode, work on this. Make this look really nice. Because, I'd like to put sea pickles in here and some coral and some water plants and stuff like that in there. More than what I've got here. There's another episode. And then just go on. And meanwhile, I'm bringing villagers over with good trades and getting all of that geared up so that once I start bringing villagers in here, they have a place to go at night whenever they feel like they need safety. And we should start to see iron golems pop up at that point. Once I start getting more doors and more villagers, should start seeing some iron golems pop up, which would be pretty cool. And then these guys, I made sure to include the llamas, the sheep, and the chickens, all of those. I made sure to push them in the fences whenever I was putting up these fences. And because I wanted some livestock running around, just to kind of make it look very villagey. And another thing I might do is gather a couple of these llamas into a pen somewhere and breed them and get a bunch of llamas in a pen and put some hay bales in there so it looks like, the villagers have a little llama pen. Same can go for the sheep as well. But there we have it. There's a look back and a look forward for this series. And I've got enough work. I've got enough planned out here. I've still got a little bit of work to do over there at the main settlement, but again, I'll include that stuff as well. But I think the future of this series is here in building a village from the ground up. Let's see how this works. It's something I've always enjoyed villages. Whenever I start a new world of Minecraft, that's usually one of the first things I'm keeping my eye out for is villagers and villages. I really like villages in Minecraft. That's a really cool concept. So it's one of my favorite things to do is to go village hunting. Well, here I'm going to build a village. A big one at that. A metropolitan area. We'll see. But anyhow, thank you very much for watching. And also, thank you very much for those of you who have seen the series before, and a special thank you for everyone who has seen this series from episode 1. What was your favorite moment in this series? If you don't mind me asking, feel free to comment. I invite any kind of comments. They are moderated just because I want to keep this family friendly. And so, but feel free to comment. Tell me what you think. Let me know what's going on. I'm very curious as to if you have any ideas for the series. But on that note, thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day. Goodbye.